Hello everyone, my name is Will, and this is the On Stuff Love Letter. Get it on! In my experience, harem anime has its ups and downs. Usually the downs come with anime that are more adult-leaning and they go overboard with the jokes or vulgarity of the show, or the show just has no substance outside of, wow, 4 cute anime girls like this nerd? Awesome sauce! However, sometimes you can get a harem anime that gets just about everything right. The one I'm going to be talking about today hits that sort of sentiment for me. By the by, if you haven't been following along with the channel, I did a review of the ReZero Season 1. The second season review will be my next video on this channel, so stay tuned. Without further ado, let's get into the review. The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You, or Kimi no Koto ga Daisuki na Hyaku ni no Kanojo, is a manga written by Rikito Nakamura and illustrated by Yukiko Nozawa. The manga was serialized in Shueisha's Weekly Jump magazine, which started its run in late December 2019 and has since entertained 18 volumes. The manga received an anime adaptation by Biburi Animation Studios in late October 2023 and ran through early December 2023. Biburi has made such works as Azure Lane the Animation, as well as Season 2 of the Quintessential Quintuplets and its movie, which I plan to make a video on at some point. This anime is slated to release a second season in January 2025 as the manga continues to release volumes. With that, let's get on to what I think of the show. Simply put, I like it. The show, for what it is, mind you, is a whole lot of dumb fun. The story goes like this. A guy named Rentaro has been rejected by 100 girls who he's asked out. He goes to a shrine to pray for a girlfriend to comfort his loneliness, and to his surprise, a god pops out of the shrine and lets him know that for his previous struggles, he will be awarded 100 girlfriends. But there's a catch. He must date them or they'll die, or something. Hearing all this and being the dumb sweetheart he is, Rentaro knows he has to be loving and caring for all of them. I don't know about that one. The rest of the show follows him meeting 6 of his future 100 girlfriends as wacky hijinks ensue. I think a big part of why I like this show as much as I do is because it doesn't take itself too seriously. In fact, you can make a case that it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Nearly every single character is a trope of some sort. Since I'm a fairly new anime fan, I don't know the specific names of these tropes, so I'll describe them as best I can in my own words. Hakari is the aloof but sometimes very lecherous girlfriend. Karane is a very heavily leaned into as a tsundere. Shizuka is the quiet, shy bookworm. Nano is the cool, almost robotic character. Kusuri is the lolly-type character and also somehow the ditzy stacked glasses-wearing character. And lastly, Hahari is Hakari's mom. Wait, what? Placing that little itty-bitty detail to the side, the way they introduce and use these characters throughout the show are very creative and make you always want to know who the next is going to be. Like I mentioned before as well, the show very much wants you to know what their personality is bound to. Hakari is always trying to get into Rentaro's pants, Karane is always huffing and puffing and saying, "It's not like blah-de-blah, okay?" etc. And I feel like it works in the show's favor because you know that they're written that way on purpose. There have been way too many shows that I've seen where there are tropey characters that I hate solely because I knew the author or screenwriter didn't write them that way on purpose. But I digress. Another thing I like about the show is the animation and artwork. I'm convinced at this point that if you swing a shiny thing in my eyeline, I'll snatch it, because even to me it seems like the only thing that can save a bad show for me is the artwork or animation. In this case, it's a little different, as here I already like the show, so it's kind of just the cherry on top. Due to the palette that they use being diverse, I feel like the colors echo the mood of the show just as much as the cast does. Everything is really vibrant and upbeat, as if nothing could go wrong for this guy. Like he's in paradise. I mean, shit, he is, I guess. There isn't really a lot about the show I didn't like, other than small things like the Kusuri episode that had a gaggle of piss jokes in it that didn't sit well with me. Also the fact that Kusuri is like a drug fiend or something. It's kind of cute for a second, and then she mentions meth and you're like, wait a second. I feel the same way about the relationship between Hahari and Rentaro, because it's like, she's 30 and he's 16? Like, hello? They try to spin it in a way where you're supposed to feel bad for Hahari because her lover passed away after Hakari was born. But this just makes things way worse, because then you realize that Hahari was pregnant at 15 or 16 at best. Also, it lets your mind wander on how her lover died. Like, did he catch something from her, or... Small nitpicks aside, this is a very strong representation of what harem anime should be more like, in my opinion. If you're going for something as unrealistic as having a harem, roll with it. Make it ridiculous. It's more fun that way. The sub is great, in my opinion. I feel as if all the VAs did a great job at conveying emotion and showing character through the use of expression and not just the animation. The dub is nothing special, but it is far better than a whole heap of other dubs I've watched in the past. I really like the intro and outro songs, especially the outro, as it calms you down after the likely chaos you just witnessed during the runtime of the show. This show was a solid 4.3 stars out of 5 for me. Whether harem anime falters in terms of narrative issues or taking things too seriously, this one shines out as what I said in the beginning. Dumb fun. If you're into rom-com or harem anime, this show is definitely for you. By the way, the 4.3 stars out of 5 rating is only a rating in terms of harem anime and not essentially like anime in general. Like, I feel like you can't compare a show like this to something like Attack on Titan. It's just not the same. So just a little bit of clarity out there for you guys. If you made it to the end of this video, cheers! I love to have you here. If you'd be so kind, subscribe to this and all my other channels if you want more content from me on a range of different things. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram for inconsistent uploads. Make sure to drop a comment on what you thought about the show, and I'll see y'all in the next one. But don't forget, Steph loves you!